today, like we have already have a demonstration actually. Today, the motto is to create a Databricks environment, Databricks environment, because from tomorrow we'll start learning Python. We'll start learning Python. Okay. So also, since we are going to create Azure environment also, but it will not be right now. Don't create Azure environment right now. So if you have already created, that is fine. But I will help you to create later point of time. And if at all, if you Azure environment is free for only 30 days, and credit that is given for us is $200, not more than that. So we'll not burn it right now. We'll start learning from Python, Spark SQL. Then we talk about big data Spark, okay, and Delta Lake. These things we learn in the Databricks environment. Databricks environment. Okay. So we'll not be creating a Azure environment right now. I will show you different things in the Databricks environment today, but don't create any Azure environment right now. If you have already created, then you may have to use different phone number, different email ID, different credit card later point of time for creating the Azure environment. That is absolutely, that would work. But right now we'll create a Databricks environment for learning Python, for learning Spark SQL, for learning Spark and Delta Lake. Okay. So let's say whenever you have a computer, okay, whenever let's say I will basic some things will understand actually before starting the creating the Databricks environment. If you want to create, follow your trainer and want to create, you can keep your laptop handy. Okay. We'll start after 10 minutes. I will explain you few concepts and we'll start after few minutes. Okay. So we talk about, whenever we talk about computer, okay, we have few things in the computer. Okay. That is storage, that's a hard disk. Okay. And another one is a RAM, another one is CPU and network. These are the few things that we have in our computer. Okay, CPU, RAM, and network. Okay, so whenever we store the data, any kind of a file that will go into a hard disk, right? So how fast your computer will work? Okay, how much data you can download from the net? Everyone has to be muted. Please mute yourself. I will definitely give a chance to ask question. Please don't unmute. Okay. So everything depends on CPU, RAM, and network. CPU, RAM, and network. So in your computer, how fast your computer can go is if you right click on the taskbar, go to task manager. In the task manager, okay, whatever you see in the process, okay, whatever you see in the process, those all will decide. GPU leave it, but CPU, memory, disk, and network, that is your computer configuration. Okay. Memory, CPU, and network, that forms the compute. That forms the compute. Okay. Hard disk forms the storage. Disk forms the storage. Okay. Whenever we store something, everything will go to disk. Everything will go to storage. Everything will go to disk. And pace of the computer will all be dependent on the RAM, CPU, and the network. Okay. If the network we are using 2G, let's say it will be very slow. If you are using 3G, it will be fast. In 4G, now we are using 5G. Okay, we are talking about downloading 100 Mbps per second. So it is quite faster nowadays. So that's why we are all able to work from home or work in a hybrid culture. So with this, having this in mind, okay, in the case of big data, in the case of big data, okay, this big data world, I will talk thoroughly about big data, but right now I will talk few things. Okay. If I want to add more storage, then I need storage independent. Okay. If I want to add more compute, okay, I need compute independent. Independent means both should not go hand in hand. Okay. Let's say if you take a VM in your office, okay, if you have a SQL server installed, okay, if I want to add more compute, more storage, there is a limitation. There is a limitation. Okay. Let's say if a person wants to finish a work, okay, he will be finishing, a manager has given a project, he will finish in 10 days. Okay. Now, if he is finishing in 10 days, now he comes, if his manager comes and says, can you finish it in 1 day? Can, is it even possible? He can extend from 8 hours to 12 hours, he can finish it in 7.5 days, but 1 day is impossible. Then he will say his manager, that is not possible. Then what is the other way to distribute the load? To split the load, okay, to split the work into 10 different chunks, okay, and give it to 10 people. Give it to 10 people. Then the work will be faster. Then the work will be faster. Okay. That's why if you add more resources to one computer, okay, resources to one computer, that is vertical scaling, vertical scaling, but it got a limit. It got a limit. But if you add more resources parallelly, if you create a lot of VMs parallelly, okay, you can go on adding any number of VMs. You can go on adding very number of VMs. Then it is horizontal, horizontal scaling. So which is better in this particular case? Horizontal scaling. Because you go on adding more and more, okay, it should be elastic. Okay, if at all, if I am loading, okay, 1,000 rows, okay, I need only one VM. I need only one virtual machine. If I am loading 1 billion rows, okay, then I need 10 machines. So I should be using only one VM when I'm loading 1,000. I should be using 10 machines when I'm loading the 1 billion. So it should be elastic. When you want, it should stretch. When you don't want, it should shrink. That's the elastic, like a rubber. If you drag it, it will, okay, stretch. If you leave it, it will shrink. So it should be as simple as that. It should be as simple as that. Okay. So in the Databricks, in the big data, always compute and storage are two different things. Two different things. Okay. If you want more compute, you can add more compute. Okay. If you want more storage, you can add more storage. No limitation. No limitation. At least for storage, it is absolutely no limitation. Compute, there are like, since we are on cloud, I will talk about it. So if you want more storage, there is no limitation. If you want more compute also, there is no limitation. Both can independently added. Okay, both can be independently added. So that's when, so even in the cloud, what happens? In the cloud, we are using data lake as a storage. Data lake as a storage. What do I mean by a data lake? What do I mean by a data lake? So if you go to your computer, this is your PC. Okay, this is your disk. You have folders. Inside folders, you have files. Same thing on the cloud. It's a file explorer on the cloud. File explorer on the cloud. There are two things in the data lake. One is whether it creates folder inside a folder like this. Let's say I have a folder. Inside a folder, I have another folder. Inside another folder, I have another folder. Is that allowed? That is hierarchy. hierarchy, or I can create only a disk and just load the objects. I can just create a disk and load the objects. That is another way. That is called as a blob. This is data lake hierarchy where you can create folder inside folder is a data lake. And if you can't create folders, then that becomes the blob. That becomes the blob. So now it is independent. Anything can be stored over here. You can keep videos, you can keep images, you can keep data, you can keep anything. It can be grown to any biggest extent possible. There is no issue. There is no issue. On a container level, there is some limitation, but it can grow infinitely. There is no issue at all. Okay. So compute like the storage is now given a free hand, given a free hand in cloud. Imagine if you are working in an organization. Okay. You are working in a computer. Okay. There will be a limitation of 1 TB, 2 TB, 1 petabyte maximum, let's say, right? If you want to go beyond that, okay, then you have to, okay, park this particular hard disk and add another hard disk, then do that. And it is not elastic. Every time you want to increase the size, you need some interference. Manual interference will be there. So that's why to avoid that, they have created a data lake. Data lake is very useful. Data lake is very useful. Now, when it comes to compute, okay, when it comes to compute, okay, nowadays you all know how things work. After Kubernetes, Dockers, and containers, okay, what happens? Let's say I will create a configuration. Okay, I will create a configuration saying I need minimum of two machines. I will show it. Okay, I have a Databricks edition. I will show it. So I still have to go in detail about the Databricks. I will talk about it. Right now, I will show how the elastic thing works. Okay. So first day, you may feel little bit different, little bit difficult to understand, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I will repeat again and again so that it will fit in your mind. Now, this is the Databricks environment. In that, there is a tab for compute. Okay. In the compute, I want to create a compute. Okay. Then it will ask me whether you want a multi-node or a single node. Multi-node or a single node. Let's say I will choose a multi-node because I want it to be elastic. If you go down, there are different version of the Databricks runtime. Okay. Every time they create a new version, that means there is some change in the Spark or there is some change in whatever Databricks is providing us. Okay. You can always choose something with long-term support. Anything without long-term support, if you take, then if there is a problem, Databricks is not responsible for that. Always choose something with LTS appended. LTS appended. Okay. Now, if you come over here, okay. So when I say horizontal scaling, like I have 10 machines working to do my job. In your organization, if there are 10 people, 10 developers, there will be a team lead or there will be a manager. This guy will take care of, okay, giving all the work to you. Okay. And then he will take the update and then he will update and then he will update the management. Like that, in the case of big data or Databricks, we have master slave architecture. Master slave architecture. This is the this is the driver or a master driver slash master node, and rest all are the worker nodes. Worker or slave, whatever you call worker or slave nodes. So whenever you create any cluster, just for we'll create again and again. Don't worry about it. Okay. Whenever you're creating a cluster, if I talk about elasticity, okay, then I have to give the configuration of the worker. Okay, I will take some random sample right now. Here, if you could see, it will ask minimum of how many workers you need, maximum of how many workers you need. I told you it should be elastic. Okay, you anticipate 1 billion, 1000 to 1 billion rows. Okay, then give minimum of 2, maximum of 10, maximum of 10. Driver also you can have same configuration or you can have a different configuration. Now, when you enable auto scaling, then only you are giving it a like you are giving a green signal to increase the capacity. If you don't check this, then it will not do any auto scaling. It will not be elastic as such. It will not be elastic as such. You need to click this button, enable auto scaling, enable auto scaling. Okay, you can give any number of nodes, any number of nodes. You can terminate the cluster. Okay, after minimum of 10 minutes should be there. After 10 minutes, you can terminate the cluster. So I just wanted to show you here. We can configure driver, we can configure worker with elastic capability. Elastic capability. This is the compute. This is the compute. If you want a single node, means both worker and driver things will be installed in the same VM. We are going to use a single node for our learning. Otherwise, because we are going to use a community edition, okay, they will give only single node. They will give only single node. For learning, that is fine. You don't need more. Okay. So this is how you can configure a cluster in the Databricks standard edition. Databricks standard edition. Okay. That's the elasticity. Now, whenever you want more machines, okay, this Databricks over here will take the configuration and send it to, okay, and send it to Docker, like Kubernetes, and Kubernetes will inform Docker to get me copies of the container, copies of the container. Then it will return the container. What is a container? A container is a pre-configured thing. Okay, a container is a pre-configured, lightweight, pre-configured, lightweight machines. With all this, with same configuration, there are a lot of machines. All it is going to do is a image. Take a snap of it like a Xerox and give it. Okay, then you are going to work. Then you are going to work. So Kubernetes will take the request, pass it to Docker. Docker will find out the right configuration from the container and give a snapback and give a snapback. This is how it works. This is how it works on a high level. All I wanted to tell you over here is we're going to use data lake for storage, which is not tightly coupled, and we're going to use compute independent, okay, independent of the storage, independent of the storage in Databricks. In Databricks or any big data environment, any big data environment. Okay, this is about the compute and storage. You need to understand these terminologies. That's the main thing. We'll be repeating every day. Don't worry about it. You may, even if you got few things, whatever I taught today, that will be helpful for you. Yes, somebody is trying to ask some question. Okay, fine. What we'll do, we'll create a Databricks community edition. Everyone, please be ready. This is the standard edition, okay, that I have created from the Azure environment. We will do this later, not right now. Okay, for creating a Databricks community edition, go to Google, say Databricks community edition, Databricks community edition. Search for it, go for sign up for Databricks community edition. Go to Google, search for sign up for Databricks community edition. I'll give this link to you. Give this link in the chat. It's for everyone. Just click on that. Just click on that. Okay. Click on try Databricks. Click on try Databricks. Okay. Now, when you click on try Databricks, it will ask for the details to be filled. It will ask for the details to be filled. Okay. You can fill any details. Okay. Company, whatever you would like to. Okay. 1, 2, 3, ABC, D, whatever you would like to. Okay. You can give anything you want. You can give anything you want. So if people are following, I will give you a minute or two to just fill in these details. Is anybody following this? Can you respond?
Yes, I'm following.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Once you fill in the details, then we need to click continue. I'll wait for 1 minute. Now click on continue. Okay. Once you click on continue, okay, there will be different cloud providers. Databricks is a independent company. Okay. Independent company. Its software is hosted on AWS, Azure, GCP. Maybe now they would have also hosted in even in the Alibaba cloud also. Even they would have hosted in the Alibaba cloud also. But yes, it is now hosted in AWS, Azure, and GCP. Now it will ask you as soon as you click continue, it will ask you which cloud environment you want to choose. If at all, if you choose any of them, it will be valid for only 14 days. If you choose any of them, it will be valid for 14 days. We want valid for unlimited time until Databricks says stop it. Okay. So for that, don't choose any of these three options. Go down. Okay. Click on get started with community edition. Scroll down a bit and click on get started with community edition. Okay. It will ask for some puzzle. Okay. Use the okay. So now it will go to the next page. Okay. It should ideally go to the next page. Okay. So I have already okay. I have already have used this particular email. So what it shows, it will throw an error for me. Okay, but it will take you to the next page. It will take you to the next page. I will present that particular thing. Is anybody able to go to the next page?
Yes, it
Yes.
says thank you for your email. Check your email for to start
Yes.
your trade.
Yeah. Now you need to go to the email. You need to go to your email and click on the link that they have provided.
You have to
Okay,
verify that.
click on the link that they have provided, and so in your email, this is the thing that you will get actually. So you need to go to your email, okay, and then click on this community edition link. Click on this community edition. Verify this. Okay, click on this and verify. You will be asked to give your user ID and password again. Okay, please enter a new password. You have to store the password. Give the password, email ID and password you need to save. Email ID and password you need to save. Okay. Anybody facing any issues? Anybody not able to do it? Please let me know. Okay. Give new user ID and password. Once that is done, let me know. Your environment is ready. Anybody facing any issues? Or you guys are fine? Whoever is giving it right.
It is saying data science and engineering.
Yes, yes. I will come there. I will come there. So whenever you log in, okay, it will ask for data science and engineering. You select the data science and engineering. Data science and engineering. You select that. So every day, whenever you want to log in, you are going to use this link. Community, please go on mute. After you speak, please, you must go on mute. Community.cloud.databricks.com. Okay. This is the link you are going to use to log in every day. Community.cloud.databricks.com. This is the link you are going to use every day. Please use this. Okay. This is your Databricks environment. Okay. Now, this is little different from the actual, uh, like wherever the paid version, this is a free version. That's absolutely fine. It doesn't stop us from doing anything. It doesn't stop us from doing anything. Okay. So most of you are ready. Is anybody facing any issues or you are done? Please let me know. I will continue with the next things. Okay. So whenever you log in, whenever you log into the community.cloud.databricks.com, okay, on the left hand side, okay, this is a pane that we are going to use. Okay, but different things for different things. If you click over here, okay, Databricks is meant to do data science use cases, data analysis use cases, and data engineering use cases. If you are purely meant for doing only machine learning, then you click on the machine learning. If you are looking for doing data engineering stuff, you need to select the data engineering stuff. I'm teaching data engineering stuff. It would be great if you select the data engineering stuff. Okay. Now, apart from this, if you go down, there is a create button. If you click on the create button, basically in the Databricks environment, you can create a notebook. We'll talk in detail about the notebook. We'll create a table. We'll create the cluster. Cluster you can create even in the compute. You can create even in the compute. If you want to create, you are allowed to create a notebook. You are allowed to create a table, just like a SQL table, and you are allowed to create a cluster. This is for compute. This is for storage. This is for development. Let me just click on notebook. Okay, I have clicked on notebook right now. I clicked on the notebook right now. It will create a new notebook.
Uh,
Right.
Table which we are creating, is it going to store in the SQL
I will
database
talk
or?
about. I will talk about it. I will talk about it. I will talk. You have to allow some time. We'll go in detail. Okay. When it comes to notebook, when it comes to notebook, okay, if you see, this is a notebook environment. How is it? If you take our notebook in our school days, even now, okay, then here there will be a different, okay, different command windows. All you can do is you can go there and type. You can go there and type. Okay, I can. If you see this particular notebook on the top here, you can give name of the notebook. Okay, let's say training day one, whatever. This is the name of the notebook. Immediately next to that, there is a Python. I can code in Python, I can code in SQL, I can code in Scala, I can code in R. Python, SQL, Scala, R. These are the four different languages I can use. Apart from this, I can use Markdown, that is HTML. I can use little bit of Linux commands also. Percentage fs, Okay, file system comments also I can use. Okay, now these are the different things that are available, like file, edit, view, run. That is absolutely fine. There is no issue. On the right side, if you see, if at all, if you have connected to a DevOps, you can publish it. Okay. If at all, if you want to run something, let's say I assign a value to a variable. Okay. And I try to run. Okay. What it will do, whenever I write a code, it needs a compute. Whenever I write a code, it needs a compute. I have not created any compute yet. I have not created any compute. So it doesn't work. What I will do, I'll go here and right click, open in a new tab, open in a new tab. I need to create a compute. Without a computer, I cannot run my code. Okay. That's what I need to do. Where I need to do, click on the compute, right click. Okay. And then open in a new tab and open, or you can open it over here also. If you just click on this, it will open. Okay. Since I have this already, I've been using this for teaching. It is showing a compute over there. It is showing a compute over there. Okay, what I will do, let me create a new compute. Since we are using a Databricks Community Edition, every damn day, okay, the validity of our cluster is only 2 hours from the time you pause it. You pause it. You pause means you stop using it. Only 2 hours it will work. Later it won't work. Okay, now I write A is equal to 1. Okay, and I will come after 2 hours. The cluster will be taken away. The cluster will be taken away. Okay, and assigned to a new user because it's a community edition. Okay, assigned to a new user. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to delete boundary create, delete, create a new compute. Every day, after every 2 hours, let's say not a day, after every 2 hours, you need to do that. There is no other go. There is no other go if you are using a community edition. This is not the same case in the paid edition. This is not the same case in the paid edition. Now here, give any name, any kind of name you would like to give. I will give my name, Vinod. Okay, I'll give my name. Databricks runtime, you can choose Databricks runtime. All the Databricks runtimes will be available. I will take 13.3 LTS. If you see here, you will be given only one machine. You are not given a configuration as we did over here. If you see here, I was given a choice. I was given a choice to take like to choose multi-node, single node, and then choose different types of okay worker types. Okay, all these are given in the paid edition, but in the community edition, this is not there. Community edition, all they are going to give is they are going to give us a single node, and you have to survive with the single node. That is absolutely fine. We are absolutely okay with this single node. Okay, create compute.
So what
After
is the
creating compute,
runtime?
runtime is
Hello.
Databricks. Whenever wait, I'm answering. Okay, runtime is Databricks have put in Spark related stuff, Databricks related stuff, everything in a particular VM, and that VM, okay, whenever it takes the VM, that will take everything installed. All you are going to do is coding. You are not going to do any configuration. It will have Apache Spark 3.4.1 edition. Okay, it's a Databricks will give different versions if there are any improvements made. Okay, in the big data environment. So they have given 13.3 version. Scala, since Databricks is written like Spark is written using Scala, they will also have to mention the Scala version. Okay, runtime is a VM with all the pre-configured Spark stuff. Pre-configured Spark stuff. You understood? You are
Yes.
going to just use it for so all you are going to do is this compute with configuration. Compute with pre-configured things. Pre-configured. All you are going to do is use that compute. Once this machine is ready, okay, use that and then attach to your notebook and run. That's the only job you are going to do. If at all, if you take a, okay, if you want to install Spark in your local machine, then it will take longer time. I will talk about it when we start learning Spark after Python Spark SQL. Okay, but right now, to simplify it, we'll follow this. We'll follow
But
what I'm
there are
going to
so
say.
many runtimes. Which one to choose? How to know that one?
It is, see, you will, if your particular office, so they will release a release notes. Okay, they will release a release notes. If you think there is anything new additions they have done, then you have to choose whichever you want. Okay, you have to wait until I talk about them in more detail, because if I put so many things on your mind right now, you will get confused. Right now, I will say whatever default it gives, just create the compute. Okay, but when it comes to that point, then you will understand more and
Okay.
more. Basically, it's all depends on your particular project. Databricks, every whenever I take my mobile, for example, every few days, what they will do, they will send an update in your mobile. If at all, if there is a major version, it will be 13.0. Here, now the major version is 14.0. Okay. When they release it, they will release it with a purpose saying it is having so many things improved. It is having, because Databricks depends on Spark, it is depends on the Delta Lake. So you need to have this idea about Spark and Delta Lake. Okay. Now Spark is putting more and more things. Delta Lake is doing more and more things. So which is better? So if they have to send them, they need to use a new version altogether. Then only it will work. If you want to use the new features, you need to upgrade your mobile. Same way you are going to upgrade here. You are going to upgrade. That's the idea. They will release with the new features every time. They will release the new features, and you are going to use them. Now, let's say I'm not sure where exactly I have so many notebooks. Okay, I'm not sure where exactly I store the notebook, but I'll create a new notebook altogether. Okay, I'll create a new notebook altogether. Here, even every notebook it needs a compute. Every notebooks it needs a compute. So now, right now, I have created a compute. It is still taking some time to start. Okay, even if it takes time, that is fine. If I code until it starts, this code will not be executed. Until it starts, this code will not be executed. So the code needs a compute. The code needs a compute. Okay. Now, even for creating table also, I need a compute. Has somebody, some of you asked, okay, let it run. If it runs, we'll see. So whenever we create a table, what it does is it uses Hive metastore, not the SQL metastore. Uses a Hive metastore. Okay. It stores table information in Hive. It stores table information in Hive. Data will be stored in the data lake. Data will be stored in the data lake. Here also they will store data in the data lake. Okay. Metadata information means what is the table name, what is the column name, what is the data type. All will be stored in the Hive metastore. Okay. Hive metastore is where they store the information. Okay. If you see the data over here, this is where the databases will come. Here will be the tables. Here will be the tables. This is the data. Okay. Hive metastore is the Hive is the database we are going to use. Spark SQL, it will be Hive. Spark SQL will always be Hive, nothing else. Okay. Now, whenever we have seen how to create a cluster, we have seen how to create a notebook. Table cluster is, I think it is taking time. Normally, it should not take more than 2 minutes. It should not take more than 2 minutes, but it's taking a lot of time today. It could be a my network issue. There is something issue with my network, but it should not take more than 2 minutes. Okay. If at all, if you want to see the tables, let's say here, there is a catalog. This is the paid version of it. Here you can see all the tables. Here you can see all the databases and tables. Even it needs a, even it needs a, whenever you are using a paid edition, it won't, you don't need to delete this, whatever you create the cluster every day. You don't need to delete this. Okay. It is not starting. What I will do, I will delete and recreate. Delete and if it is not starting, if it is taking a lot of time, then it's better to go for a new one. Okay. Let it run. And apart from this, other things that you want to know over here is the, okay, this is the workspace. This is the workspace. Every workspace will have shade. You would have seen the shade. You would have seen the user. This user will have all email IDs whoever log in with. If you want to provide access to someone else to the same Databricks community edition, you can provide access to them. Their email ID also appears over here. Their email ID also appears. If you want to keep it for yourself, then it won't. Okay. If at all, if you are working on a project, okay, and you will have all their emails appear over here. You cannot see their code. You cannot see. Okay. If at all, if somebody keep it in the shade, that means this is a shade workspace wherein everyone can put it over here and all the things can be seen by other people. All the things can be seen by the other. Okay. Like that it will be. Like that it will be. One is users for individual user if they want to try out some things. Another one is shade. Another one is shade. Whenever you want to see whatever I have used recently, okay, if you can click on the recent and you can see whatever you have used, whatever you have not used, everything you can see in the recent. Everything. 20 days, okay, 11 minutes ago, 4 days ago, 4 days ago, 20 days ago. I've used the notebook when I have used everything you can see, everything you can see. If you want to search something, you can search. And I want to search for, okay, let's say something which I have already written. Okay. Curation notebook. I have a notebook over here. Curation notebook. I have a notebook over here. Okay. I want to search for training notebook. I told I don't remember the name. If I want to search the notebook, I can search it over. I can click on. I can click on. When it comes to tables, this is the location where you have databases, where you have tables. The databases and tables will be available. And compute, we have, I just told you, every day I need to, it has created now. Okay. Every day, go here, delete and create. Delete and create. Unless you delete, it won't work. Unless you delete, it won't work. Okay. Workflows. Okay. Workflows, you need to pay money for this. Workflows is for scheduling. Scheduling. Okay. They use a fancy terminology called orchestration. Orchestration. You need to use this, then you need to pay the money for them. We'll use it in the paid edition. We'll use it in the paid edition, not the community edition. We'll try to use it in the paid edition. Okay. This is about the pain. Now, since the cluster has started, I want to open my notebook and then try to execute my simple one-liner code. Simple one-liner code. Okay. Now, in the drop down on the top, okay, select the cluster. Select the cluster. Click execute. When you want to execute, on the right hand side, you can run cell. Okay. You can run this. Or if you want to execute just like that, press Control Enter. Control Enter will also execute. I use Control Enter. It became a habit for me as a trainer. I'm using that. If you want to execute and go to next cell, add a new cell altogether by itself, then use Alt Enter. See, it will add a new cell. It will execute and add a new cell. Now B is equal to 1, for example, and again press Alt Enter. It will add another cell. And I want to display both A and B. Just do this, Control Enter. It will display both A and B. Okay. By default, it will be Python. By default, it will be Python. Okay. Now, I want to use a SQL. I want to create a table. Okay. Let me add a new cell. I want to create a SQL. Okay. How I can do that? Can I write a SQL? Let's say I want to create table, okay, sample. This is a table name. ID is a column name. Integer is a data type. Let me try. It will throw an error. In Python, this does not exist. Okay, this does not exist. Then what I should do? Then what I should do? I need to go here and change coding language for this particular cell. From Python, please select SQL. Please select SQL. What it gives? It gives a magic command. This is called a magic command. Okay. Now if I execute, it will create a table. It will create a table. Okay. So if you don't want to do this, if you are already familiar, then you can directly say percentage SQL. I do percentage SQL directly. I don't go here and select in the drop down because I'm used to doing that way. It's up to you. Nobody stop you from doing any way you would like to. Now let's say this is a percentage. Okay. If at all, if I change this notebook to SQL, confirm. Okay. I want to change this notebook to SQL. If you see, I have to write magic command for Python. I have to, in a particular cell, in every cell where I'm writing Python, I need to use percentage Python. That's the magic command. That's the magic. If I want to execute all the cells, if I want to execute all the cells, go here, run, run all. Do run all, it will execute all. It will throw an error because the table already exists. Table already exists. Okay. No, I want to here. Okay. If you see, if you select the second cell, it gives a different options. Run this particular cell, run all the cells above, okay, run all below. Means from here till down, from here till down. If you want to exit all above, you can execute all above, execute all above. Okay. If I want to, it is displaying some outputs. It is displaying some outputs. I want to clear. I want to clear. Then here in this particular run, go down and then say clear cell outputs. It will clear. Outputs are all. Outputs are all. Okay. So in a notebook, I can write code in Python, SQL, Scala, and R. If I select notebook as Python, I need to write a magic command. In interview, they will ask, how do you write? What is a magic command? Okay. Then you need to say, I need to write a magic command, percentage SQL, and then write this. Percentage SQL, and then write this. Now I have created a table. Okay. If I go to left pane on the data, click that, it should show the table. It should show the table. Why it is not showing? It should be created, it should show, but it is not showing. Let me check again. Okay. There is already something created. So as I told you, whenever I create a table, it will try to, okay, create the data in the DBFS location. It will try to create the data in the DBFS location. Okay. I will talk in detail about it when we start the Spark SQL. Okay. Absolutely in detail. You need to deep dive into it. I will talk about it. Okay, right now, what it is all trying to say, there is already a folder, okay, with sample. So I am not able to create. Let's say I will create a sample 21. Please try to give a new name. Please try to give a new name. Because big data is all about folders and files. Folders and files. If I do this, then it will create a table. It will create a table. Now it has created a table. Now if I go to data, if I see here, it had a table. It got a table. Like this, it will create a table. Okay. We have we have to create a notebook, click create and create the notebook and choose the programming language you want to code and create a cluster. Okay. And then if you want to flip between different technologies, use the magic commands. Okay. If I want to give some heading on the top, I have not given any heading. This is training day one. Okay. What I am supposed to do, I need to use a markdown. Go here and select markdown and say, okay, right. This is training. This is training. Now it will appear as a plain text. No, no, this is not appealing. I want to use, okay, different fonts. Then you are going to put hashes. If you put one hash, it will look heading one, it will look too big. If you put two hashes, you can put up to five hashes. Based on the size, based on content you want to display, you can put it hashes, different hash. Okay, that's the markdown. What we do as a practice, every time whenever I'm writing a code, I'll give a heading. I'll give a heading so that it will be easy for me to understand, for my teammates to understand. Okay, this is training. Okay, let's say this is the top heading. I'll give one hash. Then in this training, I'm learning SQL. Let's say I want to add another heading here, percentage MD markdown, and I will give, let's say, two hashes. Here, this is SQL. This is SQL. Learning. Let's say some text. Okay. Now, if I want to jump between this to this, is there any way? Okay. If you go to the left side, there is a table of contents for each node. If you click here, it will go to first. If you click here, it will go to that SQL training directly. Because you are talking about a notebook, you need to have table of contents. They have table of contents. You need to jump between different contents. You can do this in the table of contents. Okay. This is the basic stuff. Now I'm open for questions. I talked enough. If people got any questions, they can ask. This is still just a setting up environment, nothing doing with any portion stuff. We'll talk about from tomorrow. I'll be starting Python the very first thing tomorrow. Anybody got any questions? Please ask me. Please feel free to ask. Don't worry about it. After every class, after explaining some concept, I will give you a chance. But only one thing I would request, if at all if you miss a class, next day if you attend, you will not be able to understand. This is for sure. For you also, even I do a continuous learning, even if I miss, I will not be able to catch up. Please watch recorded videos. Please watch recorded videos. Okay? Please watch and come to class. It will be easy for you. It will be easy for you. Otherwise, you will feel trainer is teaching something which I am not able to understand. Sometimes it happens. If it is a new topic, no issues. Lot of new topics will come, right? So if it is a new topic, no issues. But if it is a old topic, continuation, you may not feel comfortable. Okay, please watch. Please dedicate yourself. Okay, please give 100%. Please give 100%. You will definitely rock. You will definitely rock. Okay, please watch it so that you won't feel that. Please ask questions in creating an environment and any other question. Somebody is
Uh,
trying to ask. Yeah,
are we
please.
covering the Scala along with Python?
No,
Or
no, no Scala. Only Python, PySpark, Spark SQL. But squeeze too many things, you will not be able to learn anything. So no Scala will be there.
Can you please tell me what Databricks is mainly used for, please?
Okay. Databricks is an environment. Okay. It is an environment, cloud-based, used for coding in Python, PySpark, Spark SQL, and Scalar or whatever. So it is mainly an environment for doing data engineering, data science, data analytics in a single tool. It is simplified environment. It is simplified environment. So earlier days, what used to happen, if at all, if I want to use a big data, it used to be a lot, it used to take around 2 to 3 months to actually set up the environment itself. Initially, later, it is not the case. So it used to be very difficult, but now it is so simplified, I can just do it in 10 minutes. And it is pay as you go. The, you will be paying money only for the amount of time that you are spending on the cloud.
Any other peer competitors for Databricks? Is it Snowflake also kind of related to
No,
this, or is it very
Snowflake is
different?
not. Snowflake is different. Snowflake is a data warehousing database. Okay, just data warehousing database. And for this, there are competitors from Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft is having a Synapse environment. Okay, and also we have now Data Fabric is coming on
Fabric.
the way. Yeah, this Fabric will also eat away a lot of Databricks stuff, but you need to know the programming language. They are also using PySpark and Spark SQL. So if you know, you can go. It is similar notebooks concept. Everything is similar. So no code they are going to use again. Azure Data Factory. I am teaching Azure Data Factory. So no worries.
Data Fabric is also kind of a Microsoft product, or is it different?
It is Microsoft product. Databricks is not Microsoft product. Data Fabric is Microsoft.
Data Fabric, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So, are we covering Synapse and Fabric as well in this?
No man. No, no, no. I have given the content. No Fabric. Fabric is still in public preview. It may take years to come. No
Yeah,
Fabric will be.
at least like
Synapse I will be covering. Synapse I will be covering. Serverless pool, dedicated pool, and also I will show about the notebooks. But I will not be again coding in the Synapse. Serverless pool, dedicated pool. It got so many things in that. Okay, these are the important topics. Synapse is meant for. Okay, I will be covering that. I will just show you how can you use the notebooks. That's what I will show. But I will not be coding over them. If you would like to, you can code over them. Because Databricks got the traction, so we'll be learning Databricks. Okay, any more questions? Anybody having? Tomorrow I'll be directly jumping into the portion. So please ask any questions, any doubts you have.
Can you, like tomorrow, if you're going to start Python, can you just give a reference of what we need to go? So that if we have sometime we'll go through that.
The reference, if you pay the fee, they will give you the access to Google Drive. Have you paid the fee already?
No, okay. Once you
No,
pay that,
not.
we'll.
Pay the fee, then only will give the reference. Before that, we won't.
Okay, okay.
You will have the notebooks, you will have the PDF, everything. So that will be given access only once you pay the fee.
Hmm, okay.
Yeah, most of the projects are moving from Databricks to Synapse, so it's better we can code in Synapse as well.
No, no, no. Who told you most of the projects are moving from Databricks to Synapse?
In Microsoft, it is happening.
Microsoft will inspire you to do that. Then I have not heard anybody moving from Databricks to Synapse as such. It could be one or two projects maybe you would have worked, but it happens here and there. It is not matured as stuff. I'm working on both of the projects right now. Synapse is nowhere even compare. You cannot compare Synapse to Databricks at all. Databricks is more mature. They have
No,
previous
in
versions of.
current eh, no, just interrupting you here. Just wanted to say, if you see any job descriptions currently, wherever Azure is being mentioned, like the job JD as Azure, then they are asking for Synapse also.
Synapse serverless pool, dedicated pool they are using. That's what I'm going to cover. See, there are different things. There are a hell lot of things in the portion that I'm going to cover. Synapse serverless pool, Synapse dedicated pool. These are the SQL pools. Okay, people are using this heavily. I think one of you told people are moving from Databricks to Synapse. No, it is not the case. If at all, if you are using Dynamics CRM, okay, if you are using Dynamics 365, Dynamics CRM, okay, default they are doing what they have done. They have given a Synapse link. Means they want to customer, okay, to s- actually use their particular product. What they are doing, they are exporting the data into a data lake, and they are asking people to use Synapse environment to process the data. This is the good use case if at all, if somebody is moving from SAP to Dynamics, Salesforce to Dynamics, then they will try to use the Synapse. Otherwise, the maturity that Databricks got, Synapse Notebook is nowhere even close to Databricks. Notebooks, when it comes to, they are not close. Synapse, I'm covering serverless and dedicated. Even if you see the interviews, they will ask serverless and dedicated, not notebooks. You can see in the market if anybody is teaching about Synapse notebooks. I bet nobody will teach because the tool is not matured. That's why they are coming up with Fabric now. So
So one more question. So for the
please,
deployment, so are we covering the CI/CD part as well? Or,
no, I am not covering any DevOps. I don't want to bring any DevOps stuff into the course because if you look at it, I'm already covering 10 tools. Okay, on top of it, I can't cover more actually, which will confuse people and it will need a really lot of time. Because if I cover DevOps for Databricks, then you would ask cover DevOps for Azure Data Factory, cover DevOps for Synapse. It won't end there. Okay. CI/CD is a simplified thing in any organization right now. All you are going to do is there will be a DevOps team, they will create a project for your particular project and they will check in. All you every day you are going to do is you are going to create your branch and create a pull request to actually, I have my own YouTube channel where I have shown you how to integrate ADF with the DevOps. Okay, I will give that link. You can go through that if you would like to, but I'm not covering.
So in the interviews, they will not ask right about DevOps questions.
They will ask. They will definitely ask. They will definitely ask. Okay, what you will do in the DevOps, how you will deploy, they will ask. All you are going to, how you will develop. I will create a new branch. You need to watch that video that I'm showing. That I will show you later. Or you can go Vinod Kumar Reddy button, you search Cloud Guru, you will find you will find that video. Okay, it will be around half an hour video. So every day if you want to do, you are going to create a new branch. you are going to develop. Okay. Then if you want to merge the code, because there are a lot of people who will be working. If you want to merge, you need to create a pull request. Okay. And somebody has to review it and approve. Then you merge. Okay. Then you merge. So that's how you're going to do it. But it is very less focused. But if you, they may ask, I'm not denying that fact. They may ask this question about CAC. But if you want, I can just tell you the steps how you are going to do if you want to answer in the interview. But it is all these 10 different tools. If I have to cover it, then it will be crazy. Then. So that's why I'm not covering.
Hi, please, what are the 10 tools you are covering? What are the 10 tools?
Have you gone through the course content?
Yeah, please, I'm sorry, I'm just joining.
Okay. So Databricks, in the Databricks, I'm going to cover about Python, PySpark, Big Data, Spark SQL, Delta Lake. These are the different stuff. Okay. And in the case of Azure, I'm going to cover Azure Data Lake, Azure Blob Storage, Azure SQL, okay, Azure Data Factory, Azure Synapse, Data Warehouse, and dedicated and serverless pool, and also about the okay Azure Synapse notebooks a bit. I will just show you how to use them. So these are the different things that I'm going to. And then there will be a project involving Azure Data Factory plus Databricks. I mean, mix of tools and technologies, not only tools. Okay, any more questions anybody having? If not, we'll wind up the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this particular session. From tomorrow, we'll start learning the stuff. If you want access to the content, you must be paying the fees. Then only you'll get access to it. Otherwise, I'll be just teaching. Maybe for another 2 days, they would allow. Okay, bye for the day. Have a nice day. Duration of the course, somebody asked. It is 35 working days, 35, 7 weeks. 7 weeks.
But
All
you
weekdays.
would you would 45 working days, 45?
Yes, I will cover.
You would 45 on the
No, I didn't get you. 5 days a week. 5 days a week. All weekdays I will be taking the classes.
okay.